Hello guys and welcome to the full summary and spoilers for chapter 275 of Tokyo Revengers. And the title for chapter 275 is called Cold-Hearted. And the title of this chapter refers to the true nature of Mikey's dark impulses, because in this chapter we will get to see Mikey release his dark impulses. And so you guys, in the spoilers, the leaker actually leaked the whole entire chapter, but I won't be spoiling the whole chapter. However, I will give you guys a brief summary of what happened in this chapter. Anyway guys, the first thing we see is more of Mikey's battle with Takemichi, and Mikey decided to completely let out his dark impulses. When he is being taken over by the curse, it is like a completely different person is possessing his body, and Mikey has no control over his body. Mikey thinks to himself that he is worried, but the dark impulse tells him to trust the curse. But then we see that Mikey lost consciousness, and the curse is inhabiting his body. When the curse takes over Mikey's body, we see that he started smiling, and he has an evil grin on his face. And then Mikey grabbed Sanzu's katana, and he started charging at Takemichi. And then Mikey uses the katana to slash Takemichi, and now Takemichi has a giant cut on his right arm. Takemichi still tries to fight back against Mikey, however Mikey was able to dodge his punch. Takemichi's arm is bleeding all over the place, and we see that he is in a lot of pain. Sanzu is also watching the battle, and we see that Sanzu is worried about Takemichi, because he sees that Mikey's curse is too strong for him to handle. Sanzu tries to tell Takemichi that Mikey and the curse are two different people, and he also explains that the reason he was following Mikey is because of the curse. And then Sanzu says that it is impossible to separate the curse from Mikey, and he explains that if Takemichi kills the curse, then Mikey will die too. Mikey is charging at Takemichi with his katana, however Takemichi was able to dodge the katana, and then he started hugging Mikey. And Takemichi tells Mikey that he will not lose, and he also says that he will save him from the curse. However, Mikey is still being controlled by the curse, and Mikey tries to kill Takemichi by slashing him with the katana, and he was actually able to cut Takemichi across the cheek. And then Mikey yells that Shinichiro died from the curse. And he also says that Baji, Emma, and Draken all ended up dying because of the curse too. Takemichi has been able to dodge most of Mikey's attacks, however in the next scene of this chapter we see that Mikey was able to stab Takemichi through the chest. Mikey's dark impulses just gave Takemichi a life-threatening injury, and Mikey's body is still being completely controlled by the curse, because we see that the curse started smiling after stabbing Takemichi. However, while he was getting stabbed, Takemichi reached out to hug Mikey, and in this emotional moment Takemichi decided to hug Mikey's body again, and in this moment Takemichi is hoping that he will be able to reach his friend. Takemichi embraces Mikey, and then he tells Mikey that he will not lose no matter what, and he swears that he will save Mikey from the curse. Takemichi says that everything will be alright, and he tells Mikey to remember that he is his friend. When Mikey hears Takemichi say the word friend, his dark impulses suddenly subsided, and Mikey was able to regain control of his body. And the reason why we know Mikey regained consciousness is because his eyes are not white anymore, and his dark impulses have also gone away. Mikey says Takemichi's name, but Takemichi interrupts Mikey by telling Mikey to take his hand. Takemichi says that he has tried to save him so many times, and then he asks Mikey for help. Just like how Mikey asked Takemichi for help during the Bonten arc, Takemichi is now the one who was asking Mikey for help. Mikey realizes that Takemichi means that he wants to time leap again to start from the beginning, but Mikey is still confused. In chapter 152, right after the death of Emma, Takemichi told Shifuyu that he is going to save Emma and Baji. He has never done a double time leap before, and he says he has no idea how he will accomplish this, but he says that if he can do something as crazy as time leaping, then nothing is impossible. And this moment could be foreshadowing for Takemichi starting all over again, and it could be foreshadowing that he will save absolutely everyone that died. If Mikey kills Takemichi, then he will become a time leaper, however if Takemichi is sent back to the past before he dies, then Takemichi will still be able to survive. We have seen Takemichi shake hands with Naoto right before he got killed by Kisaki, so this means it is still possible for Takemichi to perform a time leap. Anyway guys, in the current timeline Takemichi tells Mikey that no matter how many times he has to go back in time, he will definitely save him. Mikey is extremely worried for Takemichi, and Mikey tells him to stay here. Takemichi is coughing up blood, and he is bleeding all over the place. We also see Chifuyu's reaction to Takemichi dying, and Chifuyu started breaking down into tears. In the background we also see the Toman members' reaction to his death, and we see that all of them are crying. And as Takemichi is dying in Mikey's arms, we see that Mikey also started crying, and Mikey is panicking because he is so worried that Takemichi will die. And while he is crying, Mikey is screaming Takemichi's name. And in the last scene of this chapter we see Mikey screaming in agony, and Mikey is so grief-stricken by Takemichi's death that he is screaming out in pain. Mikey did not want any of this to happen, and if he was not being controlled by the curse he would have never stabbed Takemichi, so this is a very painful moment for Mikey. He will feel all the guilt for Takemichi's death, and he will place all the blame on himself. And this could mean that Hinata will never see Takemichi ever again, and the time on the roof will be the last time that they see each other. And if we get to see Hinata's reaction to Takemichi's death, it will be a very sad moment, and Hinata would be very grief-stricken, and she would be crying so much if she saw his death. We know that Takemichi and Hinata are currently engaged, so if he dies then she will never achieve her dream of marrying the love of her life. There is also this panel showing all the people that died. First is Shinichiro, then Baji, then Emma, and then Draken. And at the very bottom we see all the Toman members, and this panel could be foreshadowing that the Toman members will die too. There are times when Mikey is able to control the dark impulses, like when Mikey started crying when he asked for Takemichi's help, and when he stabbed Takemichi, this made Mikey able to regain control of his body. In his last moments, Takemichi pushed himself onto the blade to hug Mikey, and he reassured Mikey. And he also tried to time leap in order to save everyone, however when he shook hands with Mikey, the time leap did not work. And in his last words, Takemichi admitted that he only wanted to be able to smile with Mikey and everyone, and that is how Takemichi died. Since Mikey killed Takemichi, we know that Mikey will gain Takemichi's time leaping powers, and it is possible that the manga will have a part 2 where Mikey goes back in time in order to save Takemichi. However, there is this panel that I mentioned where Takemichi talks about going back in time to save everyone. And in this panel the author hinted that a double time leap is actually possible, so because of this dialogue between Takemichi and Chifuyu, I think that there is a small chance that Takemichi will be able to perform another time leap. Anyway guys, that's all we got for the spoilers of chapter 275 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the spoilers in the comments below. And like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.